NSFW pre-internet Redditors. What did you masturbate to? My brother was a trash picker. He'd go out early on trash day and find whatever cool stuff there was. A TV that needed a new antenna. Stuff like that. There was a doctor on our block who was single. Never married. One day about 6 months after the doctor moved in, my brother found several large trash bags in his trash. It was all porn. Some was pretty kinky. That's how I learned what an enema was. Anyway, every 6 months or so, the doc trashed a boatload of porn. We were the beneficiaries. The internet would have been more convenient. So much medical waste to consume. So little time. He's probably got his biohazard all over it. It seems like the mags were actually pretty well taken care of. Some of the pages had a varnish-like glazing on them to help protect them. Late night TV shows like Eurotrash. Music videos. Sex scenes in movies you had on VHS. Porno you found somehow cause it literally existed in physical form. And memories of those things or sexual things you did in your own life. Spanked to Terminator. Dances with Wolves. That chic bending over in National Lampoon's Summer Vacation pool scene. Christy Brinkley, she's still looking good too. Damn it, Jerry. See now you kids don't know the sheer terror of being a teenager. Having to walk into your local mom and pop pharmacy and buying dirty magazines. But testosterone overpowers your fear. I used to drive at 16 to places like 10 miles away from my home for fear of a neighbor spotting me. I would load up on the usual, like Playboy, Penthouse, Hustler and OUI. One time I went into a mom and pop pharmacy that I never been to before. I did my usual fake shopping. Would walk around, look at talc powder or band-aids. Wait until the coast seemed clear. I'd grab the magazines. Make a quick dash to the counter. Hoping I could be ringed up and out of the store quickly. The person working the cash register was at least 80 years old. She would look at the magazines and ring each one up very slowly. Eventually a line started to form behind me. I felt the sweat rise on the back of my neck. Because everyone was just watching the slow ringing of each magazine. The slow bagging of each magazine. It was like a nightmare realized. The humiliation of me, a pimply faced 16-year-old and the people just standing there as I get my spank bank material for the next month. I couldn't run out of the store fast enough after I paid my bill. Never went back there again. You all have it easy. You absolutely know Nana did that S on purpose. She told her entire bridge club about it the next week. In the UK you would find porn in the woods. Obviously brought by other people. Seriously. Ask anyone 35 plus and they will know about porn in the woods. In Hong Kong, you could buy porn if you were confident enough. But I went to construction sites and broke their locks and took their porn. I can't imagine having to resort to breaking and entering for porn. Lol. We all make mistakes in the passion of heat. We all make mistakes in the heat of passion. Jimbo. Jimmy Neutron's stepdad. Porn mags found in woods and under hedges. Or videos which had been copied so many times you could barely see what was going on. This is so fascinating to me. I've heard so many people talk about forest porn. I grew up just in time for the internet. But the forest seems like the most random place to stash porn. I found forest porn just last month. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street lights. Scrambled Playboy channel. Sometimes it had audio. Sometimes it didn't. If it had audio, it was much easier to work with. With our cable boxes we could quickly switch the channel between Spice and a random unassigned channel, like 105, for example. Back and forth using the last button on the remote. And after about 20 tries the signal would unscramble for around 30 seconds. You let those 30 seconds burn into your memory, then use the light to see the dawn. In the early days of UK satellite they only scrambled the video half the time. So you had a few seconds clear and a few seconds scrambled, but the audio continued on. I watched not only porn, but so many premium movies that way. You see the characters and settings enough to follow the story. But when I see one of those films again now my brain keeps telling me something is missing. Also I think you could get some German channels that would have a Bundesliga game on, and then, right after would have porn. My mate with the Sky B in their house made a lot of money and friends recording them, and renting them out in school. We had Sky in the 1990s. The analog one with the German channels. So one day I recorded the German version of Wheel of Fortune for our year 9 German class. First thing in the commercial break was a shower gel advert with a topless woman. The teacher was like, yeah, advertising standards are different in Germany. Now calm down everyone. 60-minute VHS. And halfway through the middle it was taped over with the original Mario Kart for about 20 minutes. They did have a pretty good run though. Fast times guys, it wasn't the 60-minute show. It was a hour-long porn video. Lol. I also enjoy some sexy investigative journalism. Historical romances and some other erotic books I found in the basement. Romance novels are basically socially acceptable lady porn. Back when I was dating, and we'd talk about reading, guys would always be like, I can't believe you read romance novels. You must be dumb. And I was like, I can get that S at Borders, and the only reason their counter could be sticky is if someone dropped their frappuccino. So who's the dumb one here? As a guy I like the occasional romance novel. I'll admit that it's usually on the trashier side. But I actually get more turned on when there's a decent story. With a reason the couple actually like each other. Not just, oh hey, the pizza guy is kinda cute. I guess I'll give him a big tip. Apostrophe. Porn with plot is the best NGL. That's why I've slowly turned more to indie porn comics. People have stories to tell. The sex just comes with the story. But how do you find those though? Finding that S is beyond me. Old issues of National Geographic. Good old tribal titties. Those were the days. Or animals mating. Jesus Christ, dude, carrot WHAT carrot ANIMALS. Tortoises. Mental image of my perfect type. Having a vivid imagination really helps in this case. Am I the only one that uses this as my default? Sears catalog. You'll know what I'm saying. Underwear section of that Mart catalog always did the trick back in the day, lol. Ah yes. The peach colored underwear and dead look in the eyes of models used to rock my world. The slight I'm not entirely comfortable with the way the photographer is leering at me stance. The not quite 100% model material imperfections. The obviously fake smiles. Nothing hot at all. God damn it, you're killing me here. I'm off to hunt through catalogs. You had to remember that one girl's boobs from that one time. GD focus was required, of course. The force can be used in ways that some people think are unnatural. Hey, I still do that. My ex had some good tits. Yup, I feel that. I too feel that guy's ex's tits. And I feel yours, homie. Forest porn. I refuse to believe that this is a real thing and all the people in this thread are in on some elaborate joke. It's very real. I'd say most kids who played in the woods here in eastern Canada have seen at least one random porn mag out in the woods. It was like treasure for young kids. Someone would yell out and everyone would come huddling around the thing, like it was some mystical artifact that you just excavated. Mental images of the girls I went to high school with. I'm very good at using my imagination too. I guess using your imagination was much more important before the internet though. I had like 100s of stories mapped out, with the teachers, the girls I liked, and other imaginary women. I hate to admit it, but same here lol. I have all sorts of weird scenarios in my head. Cave paintings. Man, the way they speared that woolly mammoth, HNNG, makes my trunk super hard, gets me rock hard. Nothing better than having my D between two pieces of stone. So smooth. I used 4 thumbtacks and to cut rubber bands, the thick long ones from newspaper bundles. I had a route. I tacked each end of the rubber bands to the 4 corners under the bathroom drawer in an X shape. I stuffed a fresh copy of the 1994 Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition between the rubber bands and the underside of the drawer. It didn't stay fresh for long. That S looked like an abstract paper mache sculpture of an explosion by the time I was tired of it. We boys are sure dumb F when it comes to school, but goddamn we are some badass engineers if it gets us a nut. That's better than my brother. He found some kind of risque magazine. I don't remember what it was, and he wasn't nearly as creative about hiding it. He hid it inside the toilet water tank. The toilet malfunctioned almost immediately, and he got into a lot of embarrassing trouble from the landlord. It was funny to me at the time, but he's decades older now and still very afraid of making similar mistakes and has anxiety about anything to with porn or nudity or sex. He's regarded his feelings and body functions as defects and hates all of it. All he had was a natural and normal desire, and it turned into a nightmare. It's just very sad. That's depressing. Hopefully one day he'll be able to laugh about it too.